The cancellation of which TV show are you still frustrated about? Mindhunter. So much more ground to cover. Same for me, both seasons were incredible. I really want the third season of Mindhunter. Pushing Daisies. Such a clever plot. Ned touches somebody who's dead and they come back to life, he touches them again and they die permanently. If he doesn't touch them the second time within 1 minute, somebody else dies in their place. His talent proves useful for solving murder cases, but he'd rather be a peamaker. His girlfriend died of suspicious causes on a cruise ship, he touched her to bring her back to life, but now he can never touch her ever again. Wonderful musical numbers in each episode with great performers such as Kristen Chenoweth. Won a bunch of primetime Emmys. Killed by the writer's strike, never made it back to television. A graphic novel was planned to wrap up the story but it never got published. The star, Lee Pace, played Ronan the Accuser in the Marvel movies. Really weird to see a simple peamaker as a galactic villain. What I really love about the show is how you explain the plot to someone and it sounds grim and dark. But you watch the show and it is the most wholesome show about murder you've ever seen. Those scenes in the morgue were just so colorful, especially when the victim's raincoat got melted by the heat of the lighthouse light and she looked like a sunny-side-up egg. Yes. The deaths were gruesome but fun, haha. The whole color palette of the show was amazing. The way everything and everyone was always colorful, but Ned always wore black, gray, and white. And the aesthetics were gorgeous. It was a creative collaboration between Brian Fuller, Dead Like Me, Hannibal, Wonder Falls, Season 1 of American Gods, king of this whole thread as far as I'm concerned, and Barry Sonnenfeld, Addams Family Values, Men in Black, Get Shorty, like what a powerhouse duo, come on. For anyone else reading this and has never watched Dead Like Me, I absolutely love that series as well, and if you enjoyed Pushing Up Daisies you will likely enjoy Dead Like Me, although it's a little more bleak lol. Rome. It was cancelled after 2 seasons because the production costs were too high. So frustrating because the showrunner had a really fascinating vision for future seasons. The second was going to end with the death of Brutus. Third and fourth season would be set in Egypt. Fifth was going to be the rise of the Messiah in Palestine. But because we got the heads up that the second season would be it, I telescoped the third and fourth season into the second one, which accounts for the blazing speed we go through history near the end. It's unfortunate, but at least we got the second season with a better rushed ending than a lot of shows get when they find out late they're being cancelled. But I feel like in this day and age that they would have ended in a slightly more open-ended way because there is always a chance of changing networks or a reboot. I mean, they could arguably do a reboot now and just sort of ignore part of the second season, but I doubt that would ever happen. The original Cartoon Network Teen Titans. Still mad. I was so hopeful with HBO Max's DC animation push that we were finally gonna get season 6, yeah, that's not looking good anymore. Better Off Ted. Was ahead of its time, emo. Viridian Dynamics, we are a family, and who doesn't want to spend weekends and holidays with their family? Viridian Dynamics. We can make radishes so spicy that people can't eat them, but we're not, because then people can't eat them. Viridian Dynamics. Food. Yum. Viridian Dynamics. Diversity. Good for us. Just the thought of it makes these white people smile. Freaks and Geeks. Probably the next one on Netflix that is announced and cancelled at the same time. Announcement and advertising 1 day before release. 2 seconds after it's available. It hasn't reached 230 million hours of viewership, so we're cancelling due to people's lack of interest. From what I understand, they base it off 30 days of info. So even if a show is extremely popular and trending for an entire week, if it falls of the following weeks they might still cancel them. It's dumb because the total hours could still be higher than other shows, while having good reviews. Also, it completely ignores that things can catch on slowly. Cult classics and word of mouth. Must spare the bottom line some costs so they cancel immediately. I think they saw the success of quarantine-released shows like Tiger King and are expecting numbers to match or exceed that still, even though we're no longer trapped in our homes to do nothing but watch Netflix anymore. People got lives. Great point. Companies like Netflix and Peloton saw such huge numbers during COVID that they greedily refused to accept that as an abnormality. Dead Like Me. I find it funny that 3 of the top 5 are all Brian Fuller shows. Pushing Daisies, Hannibal and Dead Like Me. I didn't realize that all of those were from the same person. That guy is a genius. Pushing Daisies and Dead Like Me are in my top 5 TV shows of all time. Invader Zim. Zim-related apparel still sells and is popular with kids. The stylized art of the show makes it timeless. A Room with a Moose still makes me laugh out loud thinking about it. I read a story a while ago that Zim was cancelled partially because spending got out of control. However, that happened because the animation department did things no one asked for. The example they provided? Making the walnuts CG when there was no need. When in other cases, they just completely forget to animate a busy street of traffic. The duality of Zim animators. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. My Name is Earl. We needed one more season. Santa Clarita Diet. Hannibal original plan was to run for 7 seasons but was sadly cancelled after only 3 perfect ones. Almost Human, it had such potential and never even finished its first season. Shown Out of Order, on Fox, which even then had a very poor track record for sci-fi shows. Didn't help that it was a beautiful attempt at a buddy cop series with a disgruntled and grizzled cop with amnesia, PTSD, and addiction issues partnered with an empathetic and persecuted android that felt emotions stronger than the MC. A great cast that all seemed to fit and enjoy their roles. To those giving pirated and Tor sites as places to find the show, I cannot and will not post pirated content. With Carl Urban and Michael Ealy? Good call. I remember Fox airing the episodes out of order and preempting it some weeks with no notice. That was so frustrating. I remember Fox airing the episodes out of order and preempting it some weeks with no notice. Man, that sounds familiar. Ducking Fox. Glow, it was blamed on the COVID pandemic, but damn it, I want this series back. Marco Polo on Netflix. Love that era of history, and I thought it was a top watch. #Endomovie. Harmon is fired and makes Rick Morty, Glover leaves and makes Atlanta, John Oliver leaves and makes Last Week Tonight, Allison Brie leaves and makes Glow, BoJack, and 1,000 other things. Jim Rash takes a short break to win an Oscar. Ken Jeong, who starts off as a glorified extra, leaves and makes The Masked Singer. The Russo brothers leaves and become the most financially successful filmmakers of all time. They had such unimaginable talent. Everyone in the show exploded once it ended, but somehow NBC couldn't make it work. And Gillian Jacobs starred in the underrated Love. And Danny Pudi was on DuckTales. A Private Plane? Larry Im on DuckTales. Happy Endings. Cancelled due to low views, but that was a result of changing around its timeslots, not viewers no longer having interest. Game of Thrones at Season 6 when Daenerys sailed to Westeros. Such a shame. Edit, it's been pointed out by plenty of Redditors that I'm an idiot. Daenerys sails at the end of Season 6. Thanks for calling me out. I fixed the comment. You can go to sleep now. Colony, great sci-fi, special effects, acting and lack of cheese. Edit, removed 2 out of 3 usages of the word great. Same. Not the best show ever, but damn did they end the series on such a massive cliffhanger. I'm not okay with this on Netflix, thanks for the awards guys. I know they eventually brought it back, but Arrested Development should never have been cancelled. New seasons weren't the same emo. Edit, I've never received awards before. Glad so many people love ad. Thank you. Anastar just didn't live up to what we hoped it could have been. Constantine and Clone High #X200B, Matt Ryan does a great job and there was great potential to explore more of the supernatural. #X200B, also Clone High was really funny. Clone High is coming back. The Expanse. It's so hard to find a good sci-fi show these days, but apparently even if you do, they don't have the audience to survive. I decided to read the books after seeing the series and holy shit is the show mostly accurate to the books. Really good. The book writers were the showrunners. Edit, not showrunners, head writers.